from today. I can see an entire page of notes. So I have very, very big expectations to someone who is new to the programme. It is, you'll know her from Jamie East's show, from Dan Wooten's show, and now, well, she's worked through the rough in order to get to the smooth. It is, of course, Amy Nickell. Nickell or Nickell?
Nickell, and you got my name right. You're the first person.
There we go. You see, this is beautiful. This is synergy. Actually, no, I'm glad it's you, because sometimes I don't know who I'm having beforehand. But I had said to my producer after I'd seen, remember when I was doing Mike Graham, I think, and I kept seeing you when you were doing Jamie in the afternoons.
That sounded a bit untoward.
You will do anything for a job here. And I remember I said to my producer, I want her.
So
and
nice.
Then I didn't know it was you today. Then when I saw you, I was like, oh, it's you. Hello.
Well, I always was pleased to see you in that little handover bit, because you were always up for
you were one of the few
exchanging some
people.
salacious celebrity tales, which I quite enjoy.
Well, you were one of the few people that enjoyed me in that programme, because although, you know, I love doing programmes here and I love Mike, I wouldn't say that we are completely similar in our opinions on certain things. And so I think that a lot of his listeners, apparently the ratings were the same, but I think half of them were listening because they literally wanted to kill me.
Well, that was a little bit like when Jamie and I were covering Matthew Wright.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah, because that was the same week, yeah.
Kind of thing, yeah.
They, but also, I now just accept it, like, especially in speech radio, people feel so possessive over their presenter that I kind of accept it now, and I start the shows by going, look, I know it's really annoying that I'm here and you don't have your normal presenter, because I get it. Like, when you tune in to listen to someone who is on every day and it's speech radio, which is very intimate, people are like, oh my God, who is this? They get furious that the person's taken a holiday.
Very furious.
So it's just easier just to say, look, I get it. I know. I'm angry. I'm here as well. You know, I don't want to be here. You don't want me. We're all here together. Let's just try and get through it. It's like any kind of marriage.
Exactly.
Yes. You've been looking at the newspapers today.
I have.
Shall we start with Jeremy Corbyn? Because I know that you had a story about him that you were very keen to speak about. Has he bought a new shell suit? Please tell me that that's made the front pages.
It's better. It's better. So, there is, in the Sun on Sunday, the most unlikely of kiss and tells. So, Jeremy Corbyn's ex-wife has spoken about her joyless marriage to Jeremy Corbyn.
I mean, joyless.
And I like the way the story has been summarised with some bullet points, which include date nights of beans cooked over a gas stove.
A date night of... How grim does that sound? Beans over a gas stove.
Bumpy bike rides in Eastern Europe.
Bumpy bike rides in Eastern Europe.
Page 10 of the Sun.
Oh, I found it, yes. Jeremy Corbyn's first wife has told how his joyless approach to life wrecked their marriage. Jane Chapman said she walked out on the Labour leader because he was more interested in campaigning than her emotional needs. She said she saw more of their pet cat Harold. I think at one point she felt like she was married to Harold more than Jeremy.
Which perhaps would have been more fulfilling for Jane. It says Jane 69 is lifting the lid with a devastating biography called A Dangerous Hero, Corbyn's Ruthless Plot for Power.
Don't read it or operate any heavy machinery at the same time. They rarely went out together. Jane spent lonely evenings in their small flat with Mango the dog and Harold Wilson the cat.
I like the way the cat has a surname, which was
course.
that Jane Wilson? What?
No, Harold Wilson. Of course,
right.
Harold Wilson.
Am I saying a silly thing? Oh my goodness, I've done a silly thing, haven't I?
Well, Harold Wilson. No, because it's fair to say you are less interested in politics than I am.
Clearly.
And
but now I know
Wilson,
who Harold Wilson
1960s
is.
Prime Minister, very socialist.
It's just because I'm so young. I can't remember those
times.
That's what it is.
That's what I should have said. You know, like Tony Blair. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, just about. Education.
Yes, there we go. Didn't help us in the referendum, but anyway.
I don't. Do you know what threw me off? Because who names their dog after a Prime Minister? Is that?
I don't. I named my dogs after famous 80s television characters.
Go on, tell me more.
Well, okay, did you used to watch Dynasty in the 80s? I mean, I don't know how old you are. You're probably too young for it, are you?
But I'm fully aware of Dynasty.
Oh, all right. Well, there was an amazing character in Dynasty called Dominique Devereaux, who was played by Diane Carroll, who is an amazing sort of American actress, and she came into Dynasty in, I think, 82, 83, I think it was end of season 3 that she came in, and she arrived in La Mirage with her Cartier luggage, actually, at that point, and amazing character, and so I named my dog Dee, Dominique Devereaux, and her name is actually Dominique Devereaux, and then there is Dolly, so there's Dee and Dolly is, Dolly is named after 2 icons, Dorothy Spornak from The Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Dolly Rawlins from Widows, which was another, actually, and the third one is, of course, Dolly Parton. And so her name is Dolly Rawlins Parton Foufas as well. So there's Dolly and Dee.
I think that's quite fabulous. Would you like to know the names of my chickens?
You have chickens?
So I have 4 chickens.
Yes.
And they're called Cheryl, Nickell, Danny, and Sharon. However,
no. Why would Cheryl, Nicole, Danny,
and Sharon?
So they're X Factor judges.
Yeah, but Sharon got eaten by the dog. So
Nicole Scherzinger.
Yeah.
But Sharon got eaten by the dog.
Yeah, so now we're just down to Cheryl, Danny, and Nicole.
So it's quite like the X Factor, which judge will survive. I mean, actually, like literally, which judge will survive.
So I like that we both name our animals after our showbiz heroes, perhaps.
I mean, I have a feeling if I got another dog, I mean, I was tempted by sort of Alexis and Crystal, but I didn't know. I always think a dog's name needs to have an E on the end, sort of, Dolly, Dee, needs to. So I don't know whether, because I do love The Devil Wears Prada as well, and myself and my partner are kind of obsessed with it. We watch it every week.
Naturally.
And I don't know whether I would we love sort of Emily, so I don't know whether Emily would be the name of a dog I would have next, or Miranda, but obviously after Miranda Priestley, who was the main character.
Yeah, well, that would be pretty. Yeah, well, it depends on the temperament of the dog, which name you go with, I think.
Yeah, true, but then I think you make the dog that temperament.
Yeah.
I mean, Dee is not as dignified as Dominique Devereaux was. It has to be said. So maybe that is wrong. I mean, again, I would name dogs after Dallas characters as well, like Pam or
I think that's great.
Sue Ellen. But again, it's not really a dog named Sue Ellen.
But I think the less animal name, the better.
My friend got a dog just after me and she called it Shirley.
Well, that's brilliant. I used to have a hamster that I called Blue Ivy.
Blue Ivy?
After Beyonce's first daughter.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can actually read all about the hamster Blue Ivy and a frog I had called Snoop Frog in my book, Confessions of a Single Mum, out now.
Confessions of a Single Mum to pets, or just a single mum generally?
Well, it started off. So I was living at home with Blue Ivy and Snoop Frog, and my Harry Styles cardboard cutout and my best friend.
Right.
When I accidentally got pregnant, aged 24, and I've written a memoir about such experience.
And can I ask how old your child is now then?
Well, then I'd be giving away my age.
Oh, God. Okay, well, can you do it in a different, in a Morse code or something?
Which is absolutely fine. He's 4 now.
He's 4 now?
Yeah.
Oh, my word. So you are much younger than me, actually, firstly. But secondly...
Do I look really old? Because you look really shocked by that quick maths of how old I am.
No,
I look terrible this morning.
It was only because you were...
Cristo, it's early.
It was only because you were saying about, you wouldn't know Harold Wilson. I was like, my God, what, she must be 70.
No, I do know Harold Wilson. It was out of context.
Right. So
Jeremy Corbyn.
And your book is available in all good bookstores now.
Yes, but actually I go into bookstores and it's not in there quite often, which disappoints me and my mother greatly.
As a doorstop.
But it's on Amazon. So
okay.
So Jeremy Corbyn and his baked beans. Let's get back to that.
Yes, and apparently he was, she says, he thought I left him on the feminist kick, but it was because I really wanted some fun. Nearly 20 years later, he invited her to tea and told her to lighten up. The pair married in 1974 and split after 5 years. It's not beans that would make me split, it's that shell suit, that horrible grey shell suit that he keeps dragging out. I mean, why doesn't someone advise him just to burn it? It would go up very quickly. It's not like it's fire retardant.
I think you're obsessed with the shell suit, but the Jane said he would sit on the floor in his greasy, unwashed army store jacket, oblivious to his wife's irritation.
Gosh.
A damning review. Anyway, that'll be a good book. I'm looking forward to that. I'll give that a read on holiday.
Well, that will, obviously, Diane Abbott perhaps has slightly lower standards, which I think we knew. Let's talk about some of the other stories. What else have you got today?
Shall we go?
Sympathetic as I can towards